And now that we're nearing our end of the interview, I'd like to enter into a segment called Rapid Fire Questions. So, in this segment, I'm just going to ask you a few questions. They're going to be quick and they should be answered within a minute or two, all of the questions.
Okay.
So, hopefully, each question you can
I'll
maybe
keep it
answer
brief.
in one
Yeah.
word or a sentence, and as fast as you can.
Okay.
So let me let me know when you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. So, do you think pineapples should go on pizza? Yes or no?
Absolutely, they should. Hawaiian's my favorite.
Okay. That's good to know. What are some of your short-term goals you have for this summer? Just briefly.
Spending some time with my kids, frankly, because it was a very busy school year. So that's one of the goals. But then getting a pedagogical study up and running as well for the fall. I'm also applying for my permanence, which is kind of like getting tenure this year. So that's what I'm working on this summer.
Good luck with that. I really hope
Thank
that
you.
you end up getting that. That's really wonderful to hear.
I hope so too. After all these years, I don't want to leave.
We don't want you to leave as well. That would be a very sad day for all the Kin students. Okay, what is your favorite meal to cook for your kids?
My favorite meal to cook for them? Probably spaghetti because it's easy and fast, and I'm always tired by the end of the day for cooking. Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Not too extravagant. My kids don't eat very extravagant food, so they're pretty easy
to please. Yeah, that's good. That's good. My little brother, is a little picky. He's a hard one to please.
Well, Avery only eats about 4 different things, so I only have 4 options to choose from most of the time. It's either full Thanksgiving turkey dinner or soup. That's it. Those are my realms I have to work with.
I really like soup. I enjoy all sorts of soup.
She only likes tomato soup, so it's pretty limiting.
Okay. What was your favorite club, charity, sport, or activity that you were involved in during your undergrad years?
I actually didn't do a heck of a lot when I was an undergrad. I didn't join any clubs or really participate in any activities, which is pretty sad. But I did intramurals, I think, at one point. I can't remember when I did them, but things are a lot different than they used to be back in my day. And there's many, many more options than there were back then as well. So, even when you think about the Pulse used to be a small weight room that was in the basement of the Ivor Wynne Center, and 3 stair climbing machines and a rowing machine in this small, tiny room that overlooked the squash courts. That was the entire fitness center for McMaster when I was an undergrad. So people didn't, I think they had like exercise classes too, but I'm not like a classes type of person. Maybe I'm not coordinated enough to like do the stepping with the beat and all the following the choreography or whatever. But that stuff didn't exist when I was an undergrad. So there was opportunities for clubs, but not nearly to the extent that there is now. I did do some intramurals. I think my favorite probably would have been grad student softball. We did that in the summertime. Wow. Yeah, it was fun.
That sounds really fun. Okay, and then the last one is, in one sentence, can you give some words of encouragement that I could pass along to the Kin undergrad students?
Yeah, you guys are great students, and it's honestly a pleasure to be in our department with such outstanding students. We're lucky, not lucky, I guess, to say our entrance average is quite high. So we get the cream of the crop types of students to begin with. So that just makes it so much easier for us too when you come, because you're really passionate about being here and excited about learning, and that we thrive on that as well. So in terms of advice, don't get down if something doesn't go your way the first time. I didn't do very well in some of my courses in undergrad, and look where I am. Like it's never one test or one course. It's never the end of the world. Although in the time it might seem that way, you can always bounce back, and it might take a little bit longer sometimes. I did 7 years of undergrad, but eventually you'll get to be in the right place if you just stick with it long enough, and always take opportunities that come your way, even if you think they're like, oh, that's not something that's going to help me in my career or help me get a job. I think I was reluctant to do that, and the more I started stepping outside my comfort zone and trying new things, the more people I met, the bigger my network became, the more opportunities you get. So those, I think, would be my best pieces of advice.
I think they were all really, really, really wonderful advices that you gave, and that um and it really shows how much you really fit the title of a kin mom, because you give such mom advice, and it's really beautiful advice. I think anyone and everyone who's listening along to this, they should definitely um take this advice and really take it to heart. It's not the end of the world if you do get that one bad grade, or do bad in that one course, like Dr. Howarth said.
Yeah, it's so, I know people, it's in the moment, it seems like the end of the world. But I always say to my kids, like, do you remember when you were upset a year ago? Do you remember what it was about? No. A year from now, and that was one of the pieces of advice my dad always gave me. A year from now, you're not even going to remember this day. Obviously there are some traumatic things that happen in your life you're going to remember from years to come, but those small things that you get so wrapped up in your head about, and you'll forget them. I don't remember all the tests that I did poorly on. There's a couple I remember, but for the most part, I can't even remember what courses I took in undergrad, let alone the tests that I might have done well or poorly on. I don't remember. So eventually those things will become ancient history, and they won't you know they won't shape your life forever.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for being here with us, and thank you for agreeing to be part of this interview. It was really wonderful having you today, and we'll see you all in a different episode of Connections.